Hey guys, so today I'm going to give you a little tour of our kitchen. Not only am I going to show you what's in our fridge and in our cabinets, but I'm actually going to show you our plateware and what we eat out of, because I actually am a firm believer that the prettier your plate, the more apt you are to eat what's on it. So that's why I'm going to show you guys kind of how we even organize our kitchen, because some of you may be interested in that. I know personally I like to watch organization videos, so I thought maybe some of you would enjoy that too. So I'm going to hop right into it because it's kind of possibly going to be a long video, so I will see you guys in a minute. Bye. Okay, so this is first an overview of one of our first kind of like snacky type shelves, I guess you could call it. These little four things in the middle, we actually don't buy them very often, but Ryan is a big fan of dried fruit, and there's actually a grocery store near us that sells these like pre-made kind of things pretty cheap, because I know a lot of grocery stores do sell these kind of pre-packaged little dried fruits or trail mix and stuff, and they tend to be really expensive, but there is a place by us that is fairly inexpensive. So we went ahead and purchased more of those lately. And then we also have a lot of granola. We do eat granola quite frequently because we eat Greek yogurt in the morning with some fruit and granola in it pretty much every day. And then of course peanut butter, because if you follow us on Instagram you would know that peanut butter and apples is pretty much always our evening treat that we eat. And then some random garlic right there. And then the last row of significance is our just kind of random row. There's really no set thing that's on this. There's a lot of tuna, there are some cheddar bunnies, and then there's of course popcorn, and then we have some raw slivered almonds, which I use to make raw almond milk from scratch, and then behind that is some quinoa, and then some pea pod crisps. I can never remember what they're called, but it's just basically like a pea pod, but a chipped version. I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a little overview of it in full, and then I'm going to go ahead and move up on it now and kind of go basket by basket of what we keep in here. So this top row, that actually is like our candy kind of row, I guess. There isn't really much in here. Some like candy from Christmas that's still in there. The next row, we just have a bunch of apple crisps, which I believe you can get like in bulk at Sam's Club and probably even Costco as well, is my guess. But yeah, so we have a bunch of those. We eat those a lot. They're not very filling, but they're kind of a quick tide me over until a meal or something like that. And so these I honestly just put there for the video because it was an empty spot and I needed something to put there. And it's a good reminder spot if you have Oprah-wise containers that you need to take back, because you get money for them, so why not? And the last two shelves, which I'm sorry I can't get really good lighting down here, is just a 10-pound bag of potatoes, and then I just stuck the dog food on the bottom because I was tired of it being on the floor over by their food. So yeah, that's just an overview of everything on our little kind of tiered basket shelf. And then in our freezer, nothing really too exciting, but we have some frozen chili on the left with some more frozen ground turkey, which I will make more chili later. There's a lot of bags of frozen chicken breast tenderloins, which we eat a lot of, and they're all natural. And then as well as that, on the side, which you can't really see, maybe a little bit, there's some frozen pita pockets, which we do use those a lot as well. And then in the back there's some frozen fruit as well. In the first shelf of our fridge, we have these two little basket things. This one has some clementines, some limes, some lemons, some avocados, and a grapefruit. And then the one on the right, normally that one would be jam-packed full of, what's it called, apples, but we actually ran out, so right now it just has a red and a green, what are they called, pepper, and then it has a yellow onion and a white onion, and then of course we have some organic baby spinach, and in the back there are some pre-cut strawberries. And then the last two parts, we just have some filtered water and some skim milk, some light sour cream, which I use for some cooking for stuff. There's some plain Greek yogurt, which I use in a lot of my recipes as well, and then normally we would have vanilla Greek yogurt as well, but we actually just ran out of that as well. That's probably something that we go through the most. And then the bottom drawer we have some cauliflower, which I will be making some potato soup with. There's some chives, under that some basil and some eggs. There's some organic romaine hearts lettuce. There's some celery behind that, and then I have this little tub on the right which is where I keep like all of our half-used like onions or lemons and stuff like that. So anything that's kind of used for cooking that is left over, so I make sure I search in that bin first before I go ahead and grab a new one. Okay, and then the last kind of tour of our kitchen is what we eat off of. So yes, basically everything kind of matches. I don't think that has anything necessarily to do with making what you eat prettier. I'm just a little OCD, so I like all the greens to kind of match together and stuff like that. Basically what we have is a lot of different types of bowls and plates and stuff like that, and we do have mason jars strictly because we had like 180 of them after our wedding, because that was what we had everyone for them to drink out of instead of like regular glasses. So we have those, and then you'll see like little tiny mason jar, they say shots on them actually, but I use them for like dipping stuff, so like little ketchup things, stuff like that. And then we have like our nice dinner plates, we have like smaller plates, and then we have like little chili or kind of onion soup bowls up there. And then between those two are, I kind of use them for a lot of things. If it's something I need a lot of dipping sauce for, then I'll use it for that. We also use them for yogurt in the morning, and then we also use the little juice glasses down on the right shelf, bottom right of the shelf, and we use those for when we want a lot of yogurt, and then juice obviously as well. There are daisy lids in the back, which we use with straws for our mason jars, and then we have these little plastic plates that we got from Kohl's when they were on clearance. So I think they were like 50 cents each or something like that. So we went ahead and picked those up, and we actually used them a ton. We bought them probably a year and a half before we even got married. Thankfully we did spend the money on them because we used them a lot. And then those little green things next to them, we mostly use those for peanut butter when we're eating apples and stuff, just because of the size of them. They're the perfect, they hold the perfect amount, and they aren't like really small that it's hard to get like peanut butter on your apple. And then those little green plates, I just bought those because Dominic's was again going out of business, so everything was on sale. So since they were 50% off, I went and picked them up because they match and they were pretty. And then we have these like little bowl plates, I guess you could call as well, and then just regular bowls that match our nicer dinnerware as well.